Channel 5, serving the best place on earth. Now, Eyewitness News is everywhere.
Good evening, I'm Dana King.
And I'm Dave McElhatton. At this hour, a 479-foot cargo ship off our coast is in danger of sinking. Right now, it is 80 miles north of San Francisco. The ship has hundreds of thousands of gallons of petroleum on board, as well as diesel fuel. Lance Evans reports from San Francisco. Lance?
Well, Mac, the Office of Spill Prevention has directed the cargo ship to stay 20 miles off the coast in case there's a spill.
This amazing video shows the carrier Hollandic Confidence in distress. The bow of the ship sunken underwater with hazardous material on board. Its distress is being monitored by the Coast Guard.
We heard that the vessel was in trouble a couple hundred miles off Oregon, that one of its hatch covers had failed and it was taking water into the ship.
The Cyprus-registered cargo ship left Vancouver earlier this week, headed for China. Somewhere it lost a hatch and turned southwards for Eureka. But the ship had sunk too low and couldn't get into Eureka's bay, so it's headed for San Francisco, where the port is large enough. On board this sinking giant is non-environmentally hazardous dry sulfur and heavy bunker fuel, lots of it.
I do know the vessel's carrying 200,000 gallons of petroleum products, so that's a major environmental hazard.
Major enough to put the Oiled Wildlife Care Network on alert. If the ship sinks, the oil will quickly form tar balls, similar to those that have killed thousands of birds before. And the environmental impact could be severe and long-term. Added to this, there are 23 crew members on board the carrier trying to keep it afloat in rough waters. The Coast Guard wants them off.
We have a total of 4 helicopters that are within 30-minute range that could pick the entire crew out of the water.
The cargo ship is expected to approach the bay at around 6 a.m. tomorrow. Marine safety officers will go in and inspect it to make sure it's seaworthy before allowing it into the harbor. If it's not, they have to come up with a new game plan. Reporting live, I'm Lance Evans in San Francisco.
A bank robbery on the peninsula leads police on a high-speed chase and ultimately ends in gunfire in San Jose. As Sean Comey reports, authorities are now trying to learn more about the suspected gunman.
More than 100 police surrounded the Plaza apartment complex while the suspect was hiding out inside.
It scares me to know that they lived in here with me.
Investigators say 40-year-old Douglas Ura robbed a Wells Fargo bank in Woodside at gunpoint. Police chased his getaway car all the way to San Jose at speeds over 110 miles an hour.
They came parallel to each other from driver's door to driver's door. The suspect leveled his revolver at the sheriff's sergeant and fired 2 rounds.
No one was injured.
Everybody else hold their positions.
SWAT teams searched the neighborhood. Even innocent bystanders were confronted by heavily armed police. Most residents stayed inside, but a nearby daycare center was evacuated.
It's making him grow up a lot faster than he needs to grow up.
Then suddenly, it was over.
The suspect is confirmed dead inside.
Police say the suspect shot himself to death outside his neighbor's apartment. This was not Douglas Ura's first run-in with the law. His criminal record includes a conviction for robbery 18 years ago. Now, investigators are trying to determine whether he may be responsible for any more recent Bay Area bank robberies. I'm Sean Comey, live in the South Bay.
Nearly 20 legal aliens who committed serious crimes since coming to this country may be about to get the boot. The men, who officials say have all recently been convicted of sex crimes, were arrested today and yesterday in Alameda County. Officials say their convictions are grounds for deportation, a process which usually takes several months.
A proposal targeting the homeless in San Francisco is coming under fire tonight. At an angry hearing, supporters and opponents sounded off on Supervisor Amos Brown's proposal to ban shopping carts, sometimes used by the homeless, by giving them duffel bags instead.
The homeowners of San Francisco as a group, and certainly in the west of the Twin Peaks area, don't want to see carts on the streets of San Francisco, period.
In San Francisco, There are too many poor people on the street with no place to live, and they do need something more than a duffel bag.
A courtroom and hold up.
The city's shopping cart task force tabled tonight's vote and plans to meet with merchants to come up with a way to control the carts. Santa Rosa is considering a crackdown on panhandlers. Later this spring, the city council will vote on an ordinance that prohibits panhandlers from asking for money in front of banks or parked cars, as well as at night.
Stay tuned, cable TV subscribers. You soon may be paying extra. TCI has proposed a 5% increase in its monthly service fee. The company says the increase will pay for system upgrades and new employees. The rates take effect in June. Before then, individual cities will decide whether to approve the rate increase. A numbers game is coming soon to a Bay Area phone near you. Next month, the PUC will vote on an overlay plan for the 415 and 510 area codes. The plan would allow customers to keep their current area codes, but they'd have to dial 1 and the area code before every call, even if they're only calling across the street.
California students are not making the grade in the latest national reading test. In the exam, California fourth graders averaged a mean score of 202, below the national average of 215. Hawaii was the only state that scored lower. Eighth graders recorded a mean score of 253, below the national average of 261. Only Hawaii, Louisiana, and Mississippi were lower.
Coming up next, preparations are underway right now to make the morning commute a bit easier for thousands of drivers. We'll have a live report.
Then how to rescue a dog trapped 75 feet inside a pipe in the East Bay.
And wiping out a deadly virus. Testing in San Francisco on a potential AIDS vaccine.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Sleep Train Mattress Centers, your ticket to a better night's sleep.
March is full of late show laughs with Bill Murray, Gwyneth Paltrow, Warren Beatty, Denzel Washington, Kate Blanchett, and George Clooney. Tonight, don't miss Billy Crystal.
No matter how much snow is on the ground, Brad and Gina know they'll get to the action at Squaw Valley in their Ford F-150.
Weather forecast, 6 to 8 inches of snow. Better take the F-150.
Definitely.
With a V8 engine and new 4-door versatility, Brad and Gina's F-150 is the toughest truck for wintertime work or play.
2 words, rugged durability.
Plus, they got a deal that's tough to beat, 4.9% financing.
This winter, don't leave home without one.
So ski Squaw Valley and see your Northern California Ford store today.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
At Blockbuster, we guarantee the hot new releases will be there, like this.
Rent Lolita tonight, based on the novel by Vladimir Nabokov, Jeremy Irons, Melanie Griffith, Frank Langella, in a film directed by Adrian Lyne. Lolita, rated R, guaranteed to be there at Blockbuster Video.
Go home happy. Blockbuster.
Weather where you live. Sponsored by your Northern California Toyota dealer. Stop by today and test drive the reliable '99 Camry.
Hi, I'm Lawrence Carnell. We take you online to the Tech Museum in San Jose. Currently 44 degrees. Not much wind to speak of. Rain on the way. We'll talk about that and the forecast in a minute.
Nothing like a hostile takeover. 15 Main.
Oh. Hey, what are you doing?
Flip car?
You passed it. Don't you guys look at PA ratios? Hey, listen, pal.
Look, we're going to Zip Jam.
You do a hostile takeover from my cab, you do one that makes sense.
You're watching Dave McElhatton, Dana King, Weather Everywhere with Brian Sussman, and Sports with Drew Soisher. Eyewitness News is everywhere.
A big change goes into effect tomorrow morning at a major interchange. From the East Bay in Walnut Creek, Doug Murphy has details. Relief is on the way, Doug, huh?
Well, let's hope so, Mac. We are now on the new southbound lanes of 680, and come morning, this will be filled with traffic in less than 6 hours, actually. It will really be a big relief because 300,000 cars a day use this interchange, and they should now get through here much faster. 10 years and $315 million later, crews were finally busy putting the finishing touches on the 680-24 interchange. The opening of southbound 680 and the link to westbound 24 is the last major piece of the puzzle of the Bay Area's second busiest interchange.
It's a tough commute, but this might make it a little better, and it's about time that it gets open.
The new configuration should make it much easier to get from here to there. Now, westbound 24 traffic will line up on the right. 680 southbound traffic will stay left. And now there will be 3 southbound lanes rather than 2.
Motorists are going to see some dramatic relief immediately to the congestion. The southbound 680 commute's been always in our top 10 list of worst congested locations as long as we've been tracking congestion in the Bay Area. So that's going to be virtually eliminated.
But the problems aren't gone. Demolition on the temporary flyover will begin next week and last for 4 months. And as motorists are already noticing, the traffic's not going away.
The 680 corridor is better north and south, but we still have a problem with 24 going to the city.
Caltrans admits 680-24 will be faster, but it won't take cars off the road, only shift the load.
There probably will be some increased congestion at the Caldecott Tunnel in the morning. Similarly, south of the 680-24 interchange through the San Ramon Danville area, we expect congestion to increase slightly there as well.
In fact, they're saying this new interchange will be at capacity in only 5 years. It's amazing. Be careful if you come through here sometime during the night. Already the 24, the route from 680 to 24 has been closed. You got to go through to South Main, and eventually that big flyover will close down altogether. They'll bring the traffic down here. Take it slow for tonight and learn it tomorrow and over the weekend. That's the story. Reporting live in the East Bay, I'm Doug Murphy.
In the San Jose Mercury News, the 9-month run of historically low mortgage rates is over, with the rate for the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage inching above 7%. Experts expect the benchmark rate to hover around 7%, which is likely to trigger a rush of buyers. In the Contra Costa Times, environmentalists filed a lawsuit against the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service today in San Francisco. They want to try to force the government to set aside land for endangered species like the Alameda whipsnake.
In the South Bay, an online auction house expands its crackdown on weapon sales. eBay, based in San Jose, recently banned the sale of guns and ammunition from its website. Now, the company says it will immediately remove postings for a missile, bazooka rocket, launcher, a rocket launcher that is, and other military weapons. In the North Bay, home prices are skyrocketing. The median price of a new home in Marin rose to about $540,000 last year. That's the highest figure in the state, more than 3 times the national figure of $151,000.
From the peninsula, all aboard for commuters who work late. Caltrain is adding extra trains to and from San Francisco in the late evening. The expanded service begins April 18th. An East Bay dog is safe and sound tonight after being trapped in a drainage pipe in Walnut Creek. The fox terrier was stuck 75 feet down for 2 hours until a sewer district employee placed a light into the pipe, which the dog followed to freedom.
Up next, the testing of a potential AIDS vaccine is finally underway in the Bay Area, but not everyone believes this drug is the best bet.
Hi, I'm Lawrence Carno in for Brian Sussman. High pressure brought us a nice day today, but rain may soon be on the way. Plus, what was that bright light outside? We'll talk about that and your Bay Vision forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes.
I saw it, that's a plane. So I turn right back.
News Where You Live is brought to you by Mancini Sleep World, the Bay Area's best place to buy a mattress.
Everyone says they guarantee low prices, but only Mancini Sleep World will beat any price or your mattress is free. Bring us any advertised price on any Serta, Simmons, or Springer mattress, and we'll beat that price or your mattress is free. It's that simple. Plus, Mancini's gives you free delivery, free setup, and a free bed frame with every mattress, every time. You expect more for your money. We give you more. That's why we are the Bay Area's best place to buy a mattress.
H2O in a solidified form. When heated, becomes liquefied. Any questions? I invented static electricity. Attempting to replicate the amount of thrust produced by a jet engine.
love what they do, just do it better. Alaska Airlines, for the same price, you just get more.
You can't see anything in a car. You can't see past the guardrails in a car. That's why we don't make tiny little cars.
Look, Mommy, a tugboat.
Really? In the water?
Yeah.
In fact, we don't make cars, period.
Mommy, birds.
Wow.
We prefer the view from the look outside and see the world as Suzu Trooper.
Look, Bob, a space shuttle.
Because you never know what you might miss in a car.